Kirk is going to come on and talk some football like he always does with us, man. And Kirk, if you want to, can you give us the background of your story and everything, just for those who didn't listen the first time and get you, man? First and foremost, man, there's been a lot going on in the NFL. I know you're keeping up with everything. Why do you think the offensive side of the ball has been so explosive, just doing whatever it wants to on the defensive side this year? What do you think is the problem with that?
I think it starts. I think it's a reflection of the numbers are a lot elevated because I think the kickoff rule being adjusted to you get more touchback and you're getting guys with more skill to work with. So when they go these long times, I think that's one of the things that's improved the numbers to kind of appear to be more of a wide open game. And also I think usually it's kind of a surprise actually to me because normally early on in the season the defenses are usually ahead of the offenses. And so it's really unusual to see the offenses kind of wide open, and I think it's one of the things where you've got a lot of teams that made some look on offense. So I think it's a culmination of things.
I was thinking the same thing, Kirk, because like you said, usually the offenses are the one that's ahead of the defense, but this year you got guys coming out. You got Brady throwing for 500 on teams. You got Cam Newton coming in and just tearing it up. Speaking of Cam Newton, do you think he can keep this up, man? You think Cam Newton can keep this up, man? Because I have no idea. I thought that it would be good, but this good, this fast, I didn't think so, man.
I'm happy with what he's doing, but I will admit he's been a surprise. But then you got to look at, he's putting up big numbers, and
but his team's not winning, though.
At the same time, he's on pace probably to throw about 20 picks this year if he doesn't clean it up. And I knew that would be an issue for him. I always question his ability to read defenses. Coming from a system like Auburn, I think he was kind of limited into. I think as they approached the line of scrimmage at the last minute, they would look over to do that, and I think that's the result of the 3 picks. I mean, he is putting up some massive numbers, but you got a guy like Steve Smith that usually gets behind the defense, and I think that's helped him out a lot. But I definitely wish him the best, and hopefully that he is a success. I mean, Carolina's been needing somebody to come in and kind of put a stamp on that franchise and be a go-to guy.
That's what I think I like the most about it, because like you said, he's actually giving us a reason to watch Carolina Panther games. Now, like you said, this I think the defense will catch up to him. They're going to start doing some different things probably to try to mix him up. But, I mean, if he's putting up those type of yards numbers and things like that, I think if he can ever clean up those picks, this guy's going to be a superstar. I see no way around it. I mean, everything else that he's done in his career, he's won it. He's won in the high school, he's won in college, and I guess NFL, he's going to be doing some of the same. But he still needs some more weapons around. And whatever happened to that running game? I think
they would look over those type of run blockers they have on that offensive line. I mean, maybe the offense is more catered to the pass, But you're right, to give D'Angelo Williams a lot of money, and everybody expected the run game to actually kind of be a security blanket for Cam Newton.
Now, speaking of running backs and things of that nature, man, we here in Tennessee. My man Chris Johnson got paid. He got his money. And a lot of people are saying now that he's getting lazy or complacent, I'd say, for lack of better words. Do you think this is the week, or do you think Chris Johnson is going to kick it in a high gear pretty soon, or is he just still getting in the game shape? That's what I tell everybody. He's maybe, he had that long layoff with the long contract dispute. Maybe he's still getting game shape. Up those picks, this guy's going to be a superstar. I see no way around it. I mean, everything else that he's done in his career, he's won it. He's won in the high school, he's won in college, and I guess NFL, he's going to be doing some of the same. But he still needs some more weapons around. And whatever happened to that running game? I think
they would look over 4 yards to carry. But at the same time, you kind of got to question, is it Chris Johnson or offensive line? Because even though
of the same, but he still needs some more weapons around. And whatever happened to that running game? I think
they would look over.
in your opinion, Kirk, who's the best team in the league right now at this moment and why? I think I know what the answer is going to be, but I just took a shot. I said, let's see what Kirk says about it. What you think, man?
I think a lot of people will actually be surprised at my answer. I mean, I think a lot of people probably would expect me to go with the popular choice, which is the Patriots, most likely. But the Patriots are going to be in big trouble if they don't clean up the defense, because the defense is, I want to say, like last in the league. I mean, although the offense is putting up massive numbers in their first, the defense is towards the bottom of the league. And you can't win with that, especially in the playoffs. Everyone knows that. I mean, because playoff time is where everybody steps it up. And you can't have that type of weakness in your defense. So my pick at this point, and people probably would be surprised, but I think I was still going to stick with the Steelers. Because the Steelers are, number 2 in defense, which is what wins championships. And then they're ranked, I want to say, 8th or 9th in offense. Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, was that the first game of the year? You know?
Yeah, that was the first game. That was the first game of the year.
Yeah. So, I mean, guys are coming in off of that lockout with the rust, and I don't really think that was a great gauge of where a team's going to be at mid-year or late in the year, because it was such an unusual off-season, and I don't think that game was a good measuring stick to actually, measure a team, so early in the year coming from that lockout.
I agree with you on that, totally on that. I don't think that's enough to, everybody overblows one game. So, speaking of the Patriots, man, do you think anybody can stop Tom Brady and the Patriots, man? I mean, the only team that beat them last year was the Jets, and it doesn't look like no team can stop them this year if it's not the Jets, to be honest.
I mean, they covered everything, so it's going to take the defense coordinator to come in there with some surprises, with some surprise blitz packages that they have not shown on film, and the Patriots have not prepared for. And that's going to be tough because the Patriots prepare for so much. So it's going to take that guy with the surprise blitz packages to make Brady uncomfortable. I mean, you always want to make a quarterback as uncomfortable as possible in the pocket so they can make, bad throws, bad decisions.
Is that why you think the Jets have so much success against him? Because I know Rex Ryan likes to throw those exotic blitzes off the edges and just different things that the Patriots probably not seen. But I think, like you said, that's probably one of the reasons why they have so much success against the Patriots.
Exactly. I mean, Rex is a guy that preaches the physical defense, and his blitz packages are just, he's got tricks in his bag that, a lot of people, he just doesn't show until a big game like the Patriots. So I would expect it starts with the run game. The Patriots always establish the run game first. That's one thing that's always been known for. Even when White's left, that's what White does, and they kept that same philosophy. So it's going to take a team that's a great run defense to actually shut down the run, and a team that comes in with some surprise blitz packages that they're not prepared for to make Brady uncomfortable and making big bad decisions.
And then you got the team like the Dolphins, man. That Monday night game, and it was so obvious what they was doing on defense. I even noticed it. I'm like, you guys are not. You gonna show your hand this early on the snap count when Brady's got time to dissect every single thing that you're doing? You're asking for 517 yards. That's what makes me mad with teams that know what Tom Brady's about. They give him an unfair advantage. You can't give a guy like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton. You can't. Those guys in the pre-snap reads. They're gonna kill you.
Yeah. And the thing is, just blocking them man on up front. The Patriots are so well prepared. I mean, it's hard to get pressure just bringing 4 guys or 3 guys up front on the Patriots. You gotta have blitz packages, and you gotta bring unbalanced the line and actually run some stunts. Just anything, pretty much last minute type of blitzes that, don't show blitz to his hands are under the center, and you really got.
And then you got the team like the Dolphins, man. That Monday night game, and it was so obvious what they was doing on defense. I even noticed it. I'm like, you guys are not. You gonna show your hand this early on the snap count when Brady's got time to dissect every single thing that you're doing? You're asking for 517 yards. That's what makes me mad with teams that know what Tom Brady's about. They give him an unfair advantage. You can't give a guy like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton. You can't. Those guys in the pre-snap reads. They're gonna kill you.
Yeah. And the thing is, just blocking them man on up front. The Patriots are so well prepared. I mean, it's hard to get pressure just bringing 4 guys or 3 guys up front on the Patriots.
Matt Stafford, Sam Bradford, Colt McCoy, Cam Newton, Flacco, Josh Freeman, Matt Ryan, or somebody else?
I would probably have to take Matt Ryan. I mean, because he has the most experience. He's more proven. Other guys aren't as proven. He is, even though he's young, he's still, he's proven, quite a bit. But I think he's even not, on point with, where his game is, where we've seen his game at so far in the year. But at this stage, I'll probably take Matt Ryan.
You know what? I'm surprised a lot of people.
Even by Stafford, you got to look at this year. He's putting up good numbers, but he's one of the only quarterbacks in the NFL this year that has not been sacked yet. I mean, look at the sacks. He has 0 sacks.
Oh, really?
He's had a lot of time. And then you got to look like Calvin Johnson, who's just been sitting there waiting for him to stay healthy and frozen. But honestly, even from the Georgia days, I've never really been a Stafford fan. I mean, he's got the big arm, he's got the measurables, but I still question his ability to read. And I'm also questioning how much he's had to read with all that time he's had in the pocket. I don't know. I guess Detroit's really stepped up their line game because he hasn't been sacked out yet.
Dick, I'm going to get you out of here on this one, man. Speaking of Detroit, what surprise team do you think are really contenders or pretenders out of this one? You got Buffalo, to maybe make a playoff run or something like that.
And who's that? You said Washington, Buffalo.
Washington, Buffalo, Houston, and Detroit.
Detroit. At this point, I think Buffalo's a contender. I think Houston's a playoff team, definitely. I think Detroit is a pretender. They're going to be better than they were last year. They're going to be a lot better than they were last year. But, if you're staying real or contender, my definition of real is at least get to the playoffs, and I don't see them doing that this year. But they are making the right steps in the right direction. And the last one was Buffalo. I think they're a contender also. So I would give the crown to Houston because they play really good defense, and I like that team a lot.
I agree with you. I think Houston will be the ones to make it, and I think that the surprise team, in my opinion, would be probably Detroit to make some type of run as well. Well, I'll tell you what, coaches. Go ahead.
I was going to say, like you say, though, when it comes to a newcomer making a move to actually become a playoff team, like you said, it's going to play big into what conference they're in. And, like a team like Detroit, it's just victim of circumstances in a tough conference. So, and then the same thing with the Bucks. I mean, a lot of people thought they were uprise, but they're in a tough conference too. I mean, Atlanta.
I thought they would have a hard time this year because it's always hard to follow up a good season, especially with a young team. And they had such a great season last year. It was going to be hard for them to follow because you can't sneak up on anybody anymore. You done that last year, and a lot of teams weren't prepared for you. But what you got going on in your area, man? You in the South Side, anything you want to put on the air, man? What you got going on?
No camps or anything immediately coming up. But pretty much just I'm still doing the personnel service. Right now it's signing season for the arena league, so still seeing guys to the different arena leagues. And so if a guy needs to contact me, they can look up Coach Kirk Broussard on Facebook. Like the fan page, send me a message, I always reply. And any guy that has that needs that extra push or that extra connection, that actually gets you in front of some professional teams, give me a call.
That's what it is. As always, Coach Kirk Broussard coming in and dropping knowledge for y'all. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. Twitter, Facebook, any players out there trying to get more going in their career, need just that extra push, like he said, to push you over to the top. Kirk Broussard is y'all man. So y'all keep it locked here on Beat Knocking Radio. We got one more segment. We're going to do some Titans talking.